they never talk about the other reasons people voted for Brexit at all, but people are still in line for Brexit in their millions, and I think, if the conditions changed and there were, heaven forbid, another referendum campaign, and I don't think there will, and that would be a disgrace because the promise was we will implement what you decide. But I do happen to think now that were that to happen, all the negatives about EU membership would come out much more. For instance, Mr. Juncker is pushing ahead on his European army. They're talking about a consolidated European tax base. We would probably be forced to adopt the euro, move to the Schengen area, and it would be, an even worse European Union, more federalising, that we would be forced back into. And I don't think the British public, anyone with a semblance of pride in our country, would want to see Britain brought to heel in this disgusting way. So my view of where we are at the moment is that we will be leaving technically at the end of March next year. And to be honest, there's a big plus in that, which is these Remainers are going to have to change their branding. They're going to have to become rejoiners. And that's quite important, because I think if you're one of those people out there who's just sick of the mention of Brexit and have no strong views either way, and there are some people like that, I believe, quite a few, you're going to find that a very unappetising invitation once we have left. If someone knocks on your door and it's someone like Lord Adonis poking through and saying, I'd like to start a campaign to rejoin the European Union, I think even if you have no strong opinions, you're going to think, let's not open up that can of worms. So I don't completely discount the importance of leaving the European Union legally, but I am dismayed that Theresa May, who told us she was delivering Brexit means Brexit, out of the single market, out of the customs union, no jurisdiction of the European Court of Justice, full control of immigration, or no free movement. She seems to have, in the tiny, narrow letter of the definition, she just about gets away with it. But in every case, the spirit of what was on offer has been jettisoned, and we, if rumour is to be believed, she might actually jettison some of the letter and try and keep us in the European Customs Union and keep some of our product rules as well effectively in the single market, which could crush some of our new businesses, because we would basically be in a terribly unpatriotic position where we, as a free country that had voted for national independence again, just has to wait to get the latest instructions from the European Union about tariff rates, but also about product standards, and new innovations in our own companies will be banned and will be illegal. And those people in Brussels may well draw up those standards knowing that they're penalising us and knowing that they're choking off British competition with the people who are still in the European Union. And I think for a great country like the United Kingdom, that my number one thought about the Chequers approach is it's simply unpatriotic. It's a disgrace, and it cannot be allowed to form the basis of the arrangements for us leaving the European Union. And on that note, I would like to invite our guest speaker, Stuart Jackson, very much more up on the detail than I am, and who's been, his sole or dominant focus in recent weeks has been leading the fight back against Chequers and to bring the government back onto a true path. I would like Stuart to explain to us how it's going. Are we going to get there? And is there anything more we can do apart from writing letters to people like Vicky Ford, reminding her of the manifesto she stood on, if she wants to extend her parliamentary career? So, Stuart, hopefully for some inside track, I'd like to hope some boost to our morale. I'd like you to invite you to address the room.